Hello everyone, good day. My name is Katrina Baman and today we will be discussing about the basic strategies for developing literacy together with Miss Daisy Me Aurelia. So, what are literacy strategies? It is essential that educators are equipped with toolbox of literacy teaching strategies. Not all students learn the same. Therefore, utilizing a variety of techniques ensures that effective practices are implemented so all students can work toward proficiency. A literacy strategy requires a particular method of instructing students in reading and writing. Literacy strategies should be implemented beginning in kindergarten in sequential order, as well as throughout the elementary years. In some cases, extending a literacy strategy to older students may be necessary. Researchers have identified the 6 essential strategies to use when teaching literacy. This includes the following. Number 1. Making connections. Number 2. Visualizing. Number 3 is inferring. Number 4 is questioning. Number 5 is determining importance. And number 6 is synthesizing. Literacy strategy examples. While the 6 essential literacy strategies are broad in nature, there are also specific literacy instructional strategies that may fall under one or more of the broader categories. For example, essential literacy strategy examples include games, Venn diagrams, brainstorming, and even field trips. Strategies are tools that teachers can give their students. When learning to decode a word, students need tools to read, just like a carpenter needs a hammer or a graphic designer needs a computer. If a strategy can engage a student and encourage self-reliance, it is worth implementing. Not every strategy will work for every student. Therefore, educators must be aware of all the tools at their disposal when teaching reading strategies. Making connections. Making connections with literary texts does not come automatically for students. Like other literary strategies, making connections should be taught explicitly through teacher modeling, repetition, and practice. There are typically 3 types of connections students will be asked to make when reading a text. This includes text to self, text to text, and text to the world. Text to self refers to making a connection between one's life and the text one is reading. Teachers may ask students a questions such as, have you ever felt like the character in the book? Or does this story remind you of something that has happened to you? Text to text connections require linking text from one book to a text in a different one. Instructors can use compare and contrast strategies for this type. Questions such as how is this book similar to the one we read last week? Or does this book make you think about what we read in history class? May be asked. Text-to-world connections require linking a text to a world event. Questions that prompt text-to-world connections include, does this remind you of something that is currently happening in the world? Or how is this text similar or different from a world event? Teachers may implement making connections strategies through visual aids like posters, think aloud strategies, which require students to voice their thoughts out loud, and journaling. Visualizing. Visualizing is a literacy strategy that requires students to make mental images in their minds. This technique is also known as imagery. As a text is read, students are asked to picture what the author is describing. The use of metaphors, similes, and allusions may be discussed, as well as descriptive language. All five senses may be activated when reading a text that is full of imagery. Identifying imagery in the text should transfer to writing skills as well. Inferring. Inferring is a literacy strategy that requires students to read between the lines and conclude what the author is trying to convey through clues. Although this is a higher level thinking skill, young students can learn to infer through modeling and questioning techniques by the teacher. Instructor can ask students to pay attention to the following clues in order to make inferences. Notice how a character acts and speaks. Notice what the character says and thinks. Utilize self-to-text connections to infer what the clues are saying. Pay attention to headings and subheadings. Use picture clues. Make a prediction based on the clues to infer what is happening.
Hello everyone, I am Daisy Miarilia and I will continue the three basic strategy for developing literacy, which is the questioning, determining importance, and lastly, synthesizing.
Questioning is an essential literacy strategy that enables students to self-monitor their textual understanding. If a reader simply decodes the words without asking what the text is saying and clarifying its meaning, comprehension will be lost. Typically, questioning will occur before, during, and after reading as described below. Before. Before reading questions, find out what a student knows about the topic prior to reading. Making connections can be integrated with this technique. Instructors can encourage students to predict what will happen in the next. During. During reading questions require that the student ask what is happening and how they feel about it. Asking questions during reading can establish clarification and may prompt rereading a passage for understanding. After. After reading questions, analyze the text and seek further questions to answer beyond the given text through additional research. So, questioning is a strategy that readers use to engage with the text. It stimulates learning, develop the potential of students to think, drive to clear ideas, stir the imagination, and eventually helps them develop their knowledge more effectively. Good questions are the key to better insights. Questions allow you to assess your understanding as well as others. By asking questions, children engage with the text and become more deeply involved, which allows them to in powerful way. Determining importance. Determining importance means that the reader focuses on what's most important in the text so that he or she can develop deeper meaning and overall understanding of the text. So, the determining importance strategy involves separating the essential, big or main ideas from non-essential information or supporting details, or determining what is an important or unnecessary information. It is a strategy used to help learners distinguish between what information in a text is most important over what information is interesting but not necessary for understanding. And lastly, synthesizing. Synthesizing a text is the process of pulling together background knowledge, newly learned ideas, connections, inferences, and summaries into a complete and original understanding of the text. When students synthesize, they are made aware of how their thinking changes and evolve as they read a text. So, synthesizing information is the way that students can take information from multiple sources and bring the information together. When these sources are combined together, it creates one cohesive idea. It takes the process of summarizing one step further. Instead of just restating the important points from text, synthesizing involves combining ideas and allowing an evolved understanding of a text.